Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the sound of phone chargers falling to the ground as I'm in the middle of monologuing, which is entirely okay. This is your host, Johan Devato, with my very fancy and beautiful guest. What's your name?
Rosie B, awkward girl extraordinaire, etc., etc. Walking away.
Who is also my beautiful, lovely boo thing, who I love more than anything else in the world, and I swear to God, ain't nobody else more beautiful than my baby.
Oh my.
Oh my, indeed.
Oh my. Thank you. Thank you.
So we're going to have a nice little discussion topic today. We're going to talk about how we got into BDSM. I feel like it's a really good topic to just talk about, just to let people know that, you know, we all have our own journeys into how we get involved into the world of kink and kinky things.
Yes.
Don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So do I. I think we share the same concepts and ideas about getting here.
Yes, I think we do indeed, yes.
Yeah. Just two different vehicles we got here in. I came in a Toyota Corolla.
I came in a Honda Prius. That's not a Honda car.
Metaphor time has passed. All right, so if we're going to talk about BDSM, I want to give a real short summary just on what BDSM is. Don't want to make it too extensive, just so we could get to talking about the experiences.
What is BDSM?
Yes. Thank you. See, that's what I'm talking about. The musical presence.
Hilarious.
Yes. But we're talking about what BDSM is, right? BDSM is an acronym. So you have the B in BDSM, which stands for bondage, which is restricting or holding someone down, basically in a method that restricts movement. So that can be in a multitude of forms: ropes, cuffs, belts, cloth. The literally the ways that you can bond somebody are just limitless. So we'll have a more extensive conversation about that. We also have the D, which stands for dominance. So dominance is usually the person that takes control in the dynamic between both parties. You have a dominant role and you have a submissive role. It does not always necessarily have to be like that. You also have a switch too. Remember, this is all a spectrum, and there are always areas of gray. A dominant person can be submissive, a submissive person can be dominant, and a switch is just basically saying a person that can play both roles. There's a lot of flexibility for everyone, anywhere and everywhere. But that's what the D stands for. The dominant is the person who takes control of the dynamic. Then you have the S and M, famously populated by Rihanna. That's what everyone knows. M. Now I need some candy. M&M's particularly. But you have S and M. So S stands for sadist, M stands for masochist. A sadist is someone who derives pleasure from giving someone pain. A masochist is someone who derives pleasure from getting pain or receiving pain. The pain does not always have to be something that is physical. And when we're talking about emotional, we are not talking about like gaslighting or doing things or doing things that are like hurtful, but particularly doing things that just generate feelings of just excitement and want and desire and curiosity.
Like degradation and humiliation consensually.
Yes, exactly.
Part.
No, exactly. You're absolutely right. You know, the degrader and the degradee complex, a very interesting one we would definitely get into talking about a lot more, but very much connected to the S&M, the sadist and masochism process. S&M also stands for slave and master, same dynamic as the whole dominant and submissive role. It's honestly just synonyms, basically playing out the same idea. The master is the person who takes control of the dynamic. The slave is the person who does the serving of the master and the things that they like. BDSM is not always something that's done in a sexual space. It's also done in a non-sexual space too.
Yeah.
So whenever you're thinking about intimacy and how intimacy functions, it is not purely sexual. It is basically just dynamics set up that have both parties feeling accepted and cared for by the other. And however that looks is totally dependent upon how y'all decide to set it out. It doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It doesn't have to be like anyone else's. It's what makes y'all comfy. Yes. So.
Yes.
Rosie B, Rosie Beautiful, my beautiful baby.
Is me, your girl.
So I'm going to let you answer the first question that we have for today, and that is, what sparked your interest in BDSM?
So what sparked my interest in BDSM, originally, I had an experience with an ex. They had done it before with a previous partner, and I was like, why not? And we didn't really get into anything like more people that like bondage or anything. It was more so like role playing. Like they were the dom, I was a sub. I wasn't allowed to move or do certain things if they asked me to, like tease me, etc., etc., etc. And that was like my first experience. Very short lived. It's me smacking the mic. Very short lived. We switched roles, and it was fun. But like it didn't really go anywhere from there. And then later on in life, I was kind of feeling like sexually repressed or just frustrated, and I just wanted a different kind of sexual experience. And I read a lot of manga, y'all. I yaoi manga. I read this yaoi manga.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was called Collar Kiss, and it kind of dives into like the softer side of like BDSM. And I don't know, I didn't know a whole lot about BDSM at the time. Like my experiences, like I feel like is what most people see is like the chains and the leather and the slave, you know, like, and I had never been exposed to like a daddy dom. And it had like reading it just really like sent chills up my spine. It was like really, it was really cute, but it also like made me feel things. And I started to look into it, and I was like, I think this is something that I want to try. And so we had started texting.
Yes.
And you were like, it's funny, you should say this. I'm actually a daddy dom. I was like, interesting. Well,
Yes.
would you look at that? And here we are. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, all right. Like where the story has come to. All right. Back to where we are. Also just wanting to also chime in too. So what really sparked my interest in BDSM, it's really interesting because it's like, you know, we've been practicing BDSM, you know, without using that terminology for a long time, I feel. So when I'm really trying to think about when it really sparked my interest, I know it technically started with one of my ex-girlfriends who I dated after high school. And she was the one that kind of brought me into things. She had a cool leash and had a collar, and she was like, I want you to use this on me. And I was just like, I don't know what this is about. I don't know what we finna do here. But I'm with the bullshit as long as, you know, we getting kinky and we getting nasty. So I'm just with it, you know, like period. I never really understood, more or less cared about power dynamics when I first got into sex. So I was just like, we gonna do this thing. Okay. So that's really like kind of what it started with. It's just started with a leash and a collar. And then at some point, I went to Spencer's in Chicago Ridge Mall, and I got to see all the shit that they had. They had handcuffs, they had butt plugs, they had vibrators, they had just so many edible paint, arousal gel. Like it was just so many different things. I was just like, oh.
Arousal gel?
Yeah.
I didn't know arousal gel was a thing.
Yes. Arousal gel is like this cool. And there are different versions of it too. But basically, what it does is that you can put it on erogenous areas like your nipples or like your clitoris. And what happens? Only use a little, because the point of only using a little is basically just see how it's going to react, because it's supposed to make those areas feel more sensitive. But a rule of thumb, before you ever start putting it on anywhere, especially your clitoris, is that you put it on your foot. And if you put it on your foot and you start to have an allergic reaction to it, like you feel itchy or something like that, then you know that you can't put it on those places because your body isn't going to react to it.
Yeah, because those are all sensitive. Okay, that's cool as heck. Okay, cool. Yeah. Noted. Go on.
No, you're fine. So I mean, that's kind of like where it started. It started with that, and being curious about all these different other things that can be done within the bedroom and satisfy people. And I'm very sorry if y'all hear training in the background. I live by the metro, and that's never going to change. And I'm really blue by that, but it's okay. But yeah, so I just started buying a lot of these things. I bought my first set of handcuffs, and that was super duper exciting. And then I bought some arousal gel, and that became even more exciting. I eventually got a leash and collar of my own, to which I put my name on it. So it's like, if you wear the collar, then I'm the person who owns you. You know, like only in the intimate sense of what we're doing, never in like an all around sense. Like once that collar goes off, you are your own person, and everything is like back to normal, but only in that sense and in that space. And I didn't even know it was called collaring at that point. I had just heard about it, and I had just seen it. So that's kind of what got me into it. And then, after that, it had just been built through all of my different partners and getting exposure to a lot of different things and just learning about the different dynamics about what subs like, because there is no, overarching thing for what makes one person a sub and what doesn't. Everyone has a different way of following it. And, now I have my story to follow with my boo.
Oh, yeah.
So we figuring ours out too. And speaking of, yes, what's up?
I had a question.
I have an answer.
Hilarious. Dang, brain, don't do this right now. Never mind. Let's move on. My brain forgot the question.
if it comes back to you, it's just okay.
I will definitely ask if it does.
Of course. Yeah. So let's talk about our roles, right? Yes. So people tend to hear about the whole role of being a dom or a dominant person and being a sub and being a submissive person. So just based on your current experiences, what makes you feel like a sub?
You asked me first. Well, first off, he is my dom.
Hey.
I am a sub.
Hey.
And in particular, he is my daddy dom, which then also makes me his little girl. But
see, you are my little.
I am his little. But what was the question one more time?
So basically, what makes you feel like a sub?
Yeah. Being a sub is really freeing and really empowering in a weird way. I feel like when people hear submission and sub, when they hear sub, they do think of submission because you are submitting to the dominance of the other person, I suppose.
Yes, that's the idea.
Yes, but I think it's kind of I don't want to say a give and take per se, but your dom is there to take care of you.
Correct.
And I fully enjoy that. And I also really enjoy giving back to my dom and getting, compliments for it. So I don't know, it's empowering. It makes you really fully embrace who you are, the freedom of it, exploring different things. With you specifically, I do get to explore a lot and have become more open to exploring things as a result of it. But yeah, I don't know. Being a sub is super freeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes me happy. That makes me happy to hear that, because that is always a goal that I strive for as a dom, is to make sure that when I have a sub, that they will feel as free and as flexible as they absolutely can.
Yeah.
Me being a daddy dom, there are different forms of doms, and I just really want to speak to my own because that's the best one that I can speak to.
Yes.
But when you are a daddy dom, you basically provide a caretaker role for your partner. So it's not really considered an aggressive form of doming. It very much can be. And when I'm talking about aggressive, I'm not saying it necessarily in a negative context, but rather there are just particular means of domination where it's a lot more cut and dry.
There's a very big distinction in power dynamics.
Yes.
That's really what it is.
Yes, you can very much tell who is the dominant in the situation and who is the submissive, and there is no question about it. But my format of daddy dom is a lot more of an even power exchange. So even though there is a dom and sub role delineated, it is not gonna be obvious when you're seeing it take place in front of you, because I'm very much about my subs having as much flexibility as they can, and I'm the giver to that flexibility. Yeah. I want them to be able to try whatever they can, however they can, and do the things that they like and however they like. So everything that me and my beautiful baby boo here do,
hilarious.
A lot of those things are very much focused on her pleasure and her happiness and how much she feels cared for and respected. Yes. And that can go as far as she wants it to go, and it can stop wherever she wants it to stop. So those kind of things are just very much important as a daddy dom. You take care, you make sure that she is set. If she can't sleep, I'm gonna rub her back to make sure that she can sleep. Yes. If we sit there and we have a session and the session is really good, I'll ask her if she wants a cookie or if she wants something sweet to eat. Incentives and rewards for the sake of showcasing a good performance, providing compliments and affirmations. You did really good with this. You are a good girl here. You look so beautiful when you do this, X, Y, and Z.
That good girl, yeah. We really work hard for that one. We working hard.
That is the goal. That is the goal. So that is honestly the big thing. But I mean, being a daddy dom is something that honestly just took me a long time to figure out too.
Yeah.
I just knew I was always a caretaker kind of person with my partners. I've never been necessarily aggressive unless requested. I've never been an aggressive person.
No.
Usually because I just do not like using the power that I have physically as a means of showcasing that I am in control unless it is requested. If it's not requested, I ain't doing it. I'm sorry. That's how lines get blurred. That's how trouble happens, and that's how mistakes happen. And we don't want that, right?
Yeah.
We want things clear, distinct, and very much understood by all parties interacting.
Yeah, and I'd say, like, in general, like, the way that we operate BDSM is autonomy is the forefront. It's very important. So.
Yes. Autonomy being the big thing.
Very big.
So please make sure that if you are practicing or you are starting to practice into BDSM, make sure that it is clear that even if you and your partner do not have designated roles as dom or sub or switch, even if y'all don't, that you both are very much doing it for the satisfaction and pleasure of both and just working it through like as a team, you know?
Yeah, very much.
Excuse me, I burped. But yes, very much. Like, do not make it a selfish situation. It is not just a self-gratification process and set of actions. It is for both parties to get their satisfaction and their desire. Like, and I'm just trying to say it to be clear because it's like me as a dom, like I'm not a self-serving dom. Like in the ways that I would do it is like my arousal and interest comes from what my sub gets off to.
Yes.
What's up,
So
finger
I
wag?
have a question. Finger wag. I wanted to let you finish, but so I then have the question.
Yes.
What is your favorite part about being a dom?
My favorite part about being a dom is just seeing you, my partner, in pleasure. Like that is my honestly favorite part. It is just being able to give what's requested and seeing the reward of that. That is my incentive system, seeing the reward of my work. Like, if I can sit there and you say that you want X, Y, and Z to happen, and X, Y, and Z happens, and it happens in the way that you want it, that makes me happy. If I fuck you till you're stupid, that makes me happy.
That's valid, though. That's valid.
Yeah. Like, that is it. Like, it is always just providing the things that is requested and just doing it right. That's my favorite part. What's your favorite part?
I didn't expect the question to get thrown back at me.
Volleyball.
Hilarious. It's weird because, like, yes, I very much so enjoy being pleasured and just getting the things that I want, like, without question. But, like, I think, I don't know, I'm weird. I really like the same thing that you do. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, my partner's sexual satisfaction always, like, makes me really happy. And if I feel like I can squeeze some extra satisfaction out of you as yourself, like, that makes me, like, super ecstatic. It gets me more giddy. It makes me more aroused. I'm just like, yes, I'm being a good girl. I'm doing my job. Yes. So,
succeeding.
Yes.
Succeeding in the role that's requested.
Yes.
Gotta love that.
Yes.
So I guess, like, you know, we also have to talk about our experiences, you know, and some of the things that we've done within them, because, you know, it's an ongoing journey and we're still going to learn more things as life goes on. But I do think it's important to talk about these things. So let's talk about some fun experiences that we've had. You want to start this off, or do you want me to start it off?
Yes. You know what? You can go first.
I can go first.
What is your favorite or your most fun BDSM experience?
That's hard. That is hard because I really enjoy the experiences as a whole. I feel like they all have their own unique place connected to the person.
Yeah.
You know, like my favorite one, you know, like with you in particular.
Yeah. And it didn't have to be with me. It could be with anybody.
I know it could be with anybody, but I definitely want to speak to you though.
Okay.
Just because, like, you know, like, this is our thing and we talking and whatnot. I really do want to give you, like, you know, like, your credit where it stands.
I feel that. Go ahead.
But one of my favorite BDSM-based experiences actually wasn't even really that sexual with you. It was actually when we did that little photo shoot.
Oh, yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah, the photo shoot that we did where I got to put you in the leash and collar.
In the collar, yeah.
And also got to put you in the handcuffs and stuff like that. That was a very very, very fun experience, and I really enjoyed that.
Should definitely do it again.
Definitely should do it again, because those pictures are fire.
They are.
They
You did
are.
such a good job editing them too.
Thank you, thank you. You just look so good in front of a camera,
Look.
and I gotta give the credit where it's due.
Hilarious. Thank you so much.
Of course.
That was really fun. Yeah.
But I mean, another one of my my favorites in general, when we honestly are like involved in like doing like intimate things, I really love the reactions that you give me in particular when I compliment you. I like your bashfulness, when I call you beautiful, or when I say you how good you look or that you're pretty. I love the bashfulness. That makes it super duper fun. But I do know like that one time when we were like fucking and we were doing like missionary, and I had the wand on you.
Explicit.
And you had the butt plug in.
Warning.
And
NSFW starts here. Go ahead.
And you had your feet pressed against my chest, and you made some very abnormal noises.
Oh my God, yo, yeah, that was the time.
But that shit was lit. that was super duper fun. It's because I really got to see you in a form of peak pleasure that I had not seen you in before, and that makes me happy.
Damn, I was gonna say that was my favorite time too.
That was a really good time.
It really was.
Yeah, that day smacked.
Yeah, it did. That's what's up. I had forgotten about that for a second there, but I do remember those sounds. Those were some sounds.
Well, what's your favorite?
Well, I'm not gonna cheat and use the same one you did.
Okay.
But.
Gluteus.
I'd have to say it's between two times. There was a time where we had sex on an ottoman, and I think you collared me, and I got spanked
with the paddle.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a delightful time. Delicious. Anyway, scrumptious. But also I'm trying to think. The other time I had it in my head.
Can I ask you a follow-up question?
Yeah,
while
for
you
sure.
think about that?
Yeah.
So what did you enjoy about being collared and fucked on the ottoman? Because that's not the first time.
It's not.
You've been collared before.
I have been collared before. I really enjoyed both times. But I think in particular about that time, there was a reason why that was my favorite time. You have to excuse me. My memory is doo-doo butt. It's trash.
No, you are fine. You are fine.
But I feel like that day in particular, I feel like we did a lot of moving around.
We did. You almost fell off the ottoman.
I did almost fall off the ottoman. I didn't want to say that out loud. But that did almost happen. I had like one head on the ottoman, the other on the couch. And I was holding on for dear life.
For dear life. Yeah, that was a good day.
It was a good day. I don't know. I don't know. That was like the first time we had really used the paddle during sex. And I just love the collar. It's a good feeling.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it because it's got that little vegan fur in it? Make it a little soft around the neck?
No, it's actually not because of that. I don't even recall it having fur inside.
It does.
I just like getting choked. It really is. I just choke me. That's it. That's all. I'm a simple gal. But outside of that, the other time was actually while I was playing Persona.
Oh yeah.
I think, did it start off while you were on the phone?
No, it started after I got off the phone. Because you were already in the middle of playing.
Oh, yes.
And I was messing with you.
Yes. And I was forced to keep playing if I wanted to keep having sex with you, and you would not do anything if I wasn't playing the game. And I feel like that was like, I like my eyes had rolled back at some point, and like I don't know, it was weird. I was like really, really frustrated, but it's like heightened pleasure for me because I was like, God damn it, he's not gonna give me the dick. I'm gonna play this fucking game. God damn. And that was really fun. That was really, really fun. I feel like you teased me good that day. It was nice.
We also did that with Soul Calibur 6 as well. Remember,
I had to make a character.
You had to make a character while I was fucking you, and if you stopped making the character, I would stop fucking you.
I just put random shit on that character. Is this a hat? Sure, go for it. Just move your hands. Move your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Between those 2 times, I do think that the one here was my favorite. I also feel like you had gotten off the phone, but I feel like it had kind of started with you on the phone.
I could believe that.
Yeah.
Mm. I could believe that.
Anyways, but that was my favorite time.
You right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super duper fun. And just to put like a little note out there too. So this act that we've done in 2 different times of the whole process of where she has to do something involving playing the video game and she gets fucked more aggressively as she continues to play, and if she stops, then the sex stops or like it slows down. It's very much a form of like psychosocial play. It is participating in doing a particular activity for the sake of gaining a reward, and that reward is a particular form of extensive pleasure. And see, my role as a daddy dom is that if I know there's a particular way that my lover likes to get handled, then I will handle it in that way as long as she is doing the thing that I am asking her to do.
Yes, sir.
And so, when even if it's not done correctly, it's a reward for the action taking place, not for the accuracy. Yes, you did. And I think you did splendid.
God damn it. This character has got to get made. This is really random.
Yes.
Before we move on to the next question, I did want to ask, like, do you have... I know you call yourself a rigger, so yes. I want to assume that, like, your favorite tool to use is, like, a pair of handcuffs.
Correct. Cuffs in general, yes.
But what is your favorite tool to use?
My favorite tool to use as a rigger?
No, just...
in general?
Yeah.
My favorite tool in general is the wand. The wand gets anything and everything done.
Hilarious.
Every time.
It's consistent.
Every time.
Really consistent, yes. Like across the board, other partners too.
Yes.
That wand is good. It's great.
It's a good tool.
What kind of wand is that?
The box is over there. I don't remember the exact name. It cost me $88. Okay, it was a good price.
It was only $88?
Yes. $88, waterproof, 15 different vibration settings, and beautifully pink and white.
Where did you buy it?
I bought it Adam and Eve, I think. Actually, that's where I got it from, Adam and Eve.
Okay. Well, they always got a sale, so I would not be surprised.
Yes, and they be slapping.
They do.
But if it wasn't that, it would be the womanizer. Basically,
suction.
Yeah, the clit suction toy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, anything that just has to do with clitoral or vaginal stimulation. Yes, is always a great go-to tool. Okay. It is always going to be one of my absolute favorite things to use because, like I said, if I can't get the job done, it will get the job done.
I have another question.
Yes.
Do you ever add butt plugs, like vibrating butt plugs into like sex?
So I do not own my own. No. So unfortunately I can't. The only reason why I don't do that is because it's not. That's usually one of those things where I would prefer my partners just have their own.
That's fair.
Don't want to share that kind of thing. Well,
no,
you can obviously clean and disinfect it and stuff. I just feel like the butthole is just a much more fragile area to be sharing those kind of things.
That's valid.
So, but I do enjoy, and you should remember this because it's happened. But I do enjoy using the strapless strap-on that I have because it comes with a vibrating bullet, and and the vibrations are like so intense that even though it's phallic shaped, the vibrations help. Not loosen the muscles, but basically it helps bring more comfort into the penetrative feeling. So if you're using it for either vaginal or anal penetration, right. The vibrations help the muscles. I don't want to say loosen, but
just relax.
Relax. Thank you. That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, it helps the muscles relax more. So usually, if the request is to have both anal and vaginal penetration at the same time with a little fun vibration on the end, especially to make the anal stimulation more exciting. I would use my strapless strap-on that I have. That shit is bomb. whether it is being used on me or being used on the other party. It is, shit is bomb.
Yeah. Well, then I guess it's time to talk about some not so hot experiences.
Yes. Awkward experiences.
I'm not very experienced in this BDSM realm, so I can't say I personally had any awkward experiences. So how about you?
I definitely had. I've definitely had some awkward experiences, but they were awkward in ways that it was a lot of. I feel like there was just a lot of lacking communication that was happening in these situations. Yes, because communication is key. But I know, like, in one of, like, the awkward situations I had, it was like I was, like, hooking up with this one shorty, and it lasted for a very short time.
I feel like I remember you talking about this.
I did tell you about this, but like, we had, like, hooked up before. We had went on a date and, like, hooked up before, and the sex was, she was very much she wanted to be the dominant person in the bedroom, which is not a problem.
You did talk about this. Go on.
Yeah. But she wanted to be the dominant person, and I don't really have an issue with that. I'm used to being the dominant person in the bedroom, but to see that I'm dealing with a woman who's like, I want to be dominant, I want you to be submissive, it's like totally cool, like not a problem. But she was doing that form of dom where it was very much self-serving. It was, you eat my pussy, you eat my ass, you fuck me like this, that is it. And while I'm very much about giving the pleasure that's requested, not a problem, it's like there's nothing being given back to me in reciprocation. And since I guess I wasn't really used to ever taking much of a submissive role, I didn't know how to advocate myself in those situations. So because of that, when we would talk about sexually what we would expect from the other, we ended up having more conflict in those dynamics than we ended up having resolution. Because there were just it was just such a lack of evenness. Like, like I would express that I would feel that, like, like I feel like I'm doing more of the giving and more of the work, so I feel like I'm taking more of the dominant role, even though while that's not necessarily true, that's how it felt in that moment. And she very much was like, that's not happening. No, men don't take no dominant role in the bedroom with me, yada yada yada. And it just always went left. It always went sideways.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
No, I mean it's okay. But like every time we just had a sexual encounter, it was just very unsatisfactory to both parties. Like neither of us really like enjoyed it like that. So we kind of ended our casual hookup things on a very bad note. Like I didn't want shit to do with her, and she didn't want shit to do with me after that. And that was it. So it is what it is. That's of my awkward encounters.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I'm curious as to why, like, you feel like. Do you feel like you were still considered a dom? Do you feel like you were still considered a dom because you were doing the service? Because, like, what about slave master dynamics? Maybe that's more along the lines of what she was really looking for.
I think that's definitely more of what she was looking more for. It's a very much aggressive binary where, not aggressive, but a more precise binary where there is a clear dom and there is a clear submissive, and that is it. But this is also, just learning BDSM and stuff, and getting the experience as you go through the process. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what she wanted I didn't know what she wanted to be as a dominant person. I didn't know that she wanted one where it was just she wanted more of a servant type role, I'm guessing, and I did not understand that at the time, because the way that I had understood being a dominant person, because mind you, I'm coming from my own ethnocentric understanding of domination, is that, the role of the dom is to know what the needs and the desires of the sub is, and then proceed to satisfy those things by their means of controlling the dynamic. So it's like, that I'm into butt stuff. That I like to get pegged, right? Like, that, but it's like, when we're in the bedroom, you're not trying to do anything to stimulate my prostate. You're not really trying to do much to even stimulate my dick. Like, you're not doing nothing to really set some arousal in me to even set up the things that you want to do to dominate me.
Yeah.
You know, it is very much like a you do this for me, you do this for me, you do this for me, and you figure yourself out. That's often what it felt like.
Okay.
And to me, like that's more self-serving than it is reciprocated.
Yeah.
Because what am I getting out of this? Outside of giving you what you asked for.
Around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's like, you know, that's often what I tend to hear, you know, a lot of my friends who are women, like they will often say like, that's what sexual situations feel like with them. And the men that they hook up with, it's like, it's a self-serving dynamic where it's like the man is like, I am here. Okay, we gonna fuck. But the sex itself is just like, okay, I'm finna get my nut and go.
Yes.
And that's how it felt in that dynamic too, where it's like, you want to have the control, you want to make shit run, but it feels like you're just trying to get what you want, and then it's like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And it's like, where are you tending to me as a dom? How are you tending to me as a sub? And you weren't. But at the same time, it's like, I did not know how to advocate for myself in those spaces. So it's like, I also was not being a good sub in that aspect either.
That's fair. That's fair. I don't know, maybe we should also speak to like the misconceptions of what doms and some should look like then at that point. Because I feel like most people assume that like in BDSM as a dom, like what a dom says goes, and that's not really
the case.
Yeah.
You wanna say a little bit more to that? Sound like you on a roll.
I mean, shit, I could.
Go ahead.
But you know I'm shy, so no, I don't know. I feel like it is a very big misconception, which is why I was so like thrown aback when I saw the manga that I did, Collar Kiss, because a big part of the plot was the main character's struggle was that he read these books about this much softer, much loving dynamic between a dom and a sub, and the one that he had with the partner that he was like running away from, you know, drama manga, was that his dom believed that like his job was to serve him and nothing else. Like what I do, what I say goes. When I ask you to do, you do. No questions asked, whether you want it or not. And like you said, that's not like what being a dom and a sub is about at all. Unless that is in your contract,
right,
or, you know, between you and your partner, you've discussed that, but like it is very much so consensual. You are both there to please each other. It is not just for one person. But yeah, that's really it.
And you are correct. And you are correct. That's very much the big thing is I feel like that is often the biggest misconception about dom sub relationships, is that expectation is put into place that it is supposed to be one person gets all the say so the other person gets nothing. Very much a 100% to 0% type of ratio. And that's just not how it works. You know, like that is how you run the gray area for misunderstandings and particularly harmful situations to both parties, you know, because you're both not coming into the situation with the same expectations. Y'all have different ideas about what's going on. Like, you could want to show your dominance in the bedroom while also giving your partner autonomy. And you could also be submissive in the bedroom while also letting your partner know what it is that you want. This whole process of having these assumed roles to be taken, and then these assumed expectations of what it's going to look like is what makes it difficult and problematic for a lot of people. So, I mean, just for the sake of like safe sexual practices, you're going to make mistakes.
Yes.
We're all going to make mistakes.
Yes.
But even in the process of us making mistakes, it is often about learning what is okay and what is not. Like, I've definitely made my mistakes with you.
Yeah.
And you know, and I can admit to those things, and you know, I can. And vice versa, right? But we can't do nothing but just keep learning about what works and what doesn't work until we really get it all set out. And that's the beautiful thing about BDSM, is that it's a continuously growing experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Like whether you have one partner or multiple, it is always about growing and learning about something new, something more, something exciting. It is that's just what makes it beautiful, you know. It's forever learning.
I agree.
Yeah.
And you do love to learn.
Facts. As do you. So I actually have another question.
Yeah, what's up?
For you.
Oh, ask away.
If we were to like switch the roles, right? What would you want to do as a dom? How would you want to dominate moi?
I kind of am a brat, right? So like part of me really enjoys teasing people and getting a rise out of them. One might call me a smidgen sadistic if given the opportunity. So that being said, as a dom, that is very much so the behavior that you're probably gonna get. I would very much so.
Keep talking. Stop looking at me flicking my penis.
Oh my god. You're so funny. I would, in the dom role, first off, you getting blindfolded, point blank. Just because I feel like sensory play really heightens pleasure, and I'm very much so like into that. But I also like watching my partner in pleasure, so anything that heightens that for me makes me happy. But I would probably also tie you up. You know what I'm saying? A little.
Say a little bit louder.
Oh, I would probably tie you up as well. But I done lost track of the question. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm just talking right now. What did you ask me one more time? I'm sorry.
How would you dominate me?
How would I dominate you? I feel like that's, yeah. I probably tie you up. I would probably. I think I also really like tools. So I'd probably find like some type of like anal or cock tool to kind of further stimulate. And I don't know. I know where your erogenous zones are. You're just getting teased.
All right. Okay.
You're just getting teased. You might get your ass hate. You might get some extra stuff. But
hell yeah.
You know, my job as a dom just is to bring you as much pleasure as I can. I'm just gonna make you suffer through the process. That's just how I feel.
So what's sensory play?
Oh, sensory play is the kind of play where you remove the senses. So blindfolding. Would you consider like gagging
a form of sensory play? Yeah.
Is fire play sensory play?
Yes, very much so.
I really don't know what sensory play is, y'all. I just used the word clearly. I'm stuck.
No, you're fine. If anything that has to do with manipulating or using one of the five senses is sensory play. So if you want to put on like headphones to like take out sound, sensory play. Blindfold,
I think
sensory
that'd be
play.
really cool. I'd like to try that.
Well, we can do that, definitely. Put that on our list of things to do.
Yes.
You know, using scented oils, scented candles, sensory play.
Sensory play.
Pheromones. Taste.
Can we talk about pheromones real quick? I have no knowledge on them, but like I feel like in a previous conversation, you talked about pheromones. What do you really feel like pheromones are a real thing, and how do you feel like that can really impact a sexual experience?
From a physiological standpoint, yes, I do definitely do think that pheromones are a real thing, and I very much do believe that there are particular smells that are used to heighten sexual sensations or desires. If we can definitely get sexual feelings and desires from the things that we eat, from the things that we see, from the things that we hear, phrases like "good girl," and even. You know, I don't see why we also can't have things that we can smell that would also do that too. The whole, conversation about sweat having pheromones in it, makes a lot of sense, That would make sense just from like, a biological standpoint about how to then select a mate or find arousal, since this happens in multiple species outside of our own.
And
whereas,
we are mammals.
Yes, and, mammals very much use scents as a way of picking mates and deciding mating and increasing that excitement. So because they have cologne, they have perfumes, they have candies, they have so many things that actually come with pheromones inside of them for the sake of exciting and producing more of a sexual want. I think that they play a very strong role in in sexual dynamics. There are people who very much get turned on by the smell of sweat from their partner.
This is true.
And the same thing works too when you're looking at colognes and perfumes. Like, why do you think when you smell that really nice cologne or perfume, you get
like, damn,
yeah,
I want to sniff that man.
Yeah, like you want to hold on
that
and you want
woman.
Exactly. You want to keep doing that because, like, it's the pheromones that come with those scents that triggers something in your brain that goes like that is a mate, that is a partner, that is a person of interest that I would like to. I am no neurologist, so I can't express it, like to their level. But But very much like scents play a big part.
Have you ever played with scents?
In what way?
Sexually.
I have when it came to like doing massages.
Okay.
Like I have scented oils for massages. I have 2. Right.
Yeah, I just can't use them because sweet almond oil is in everything.
Yeah, right. You allergic to them nuts?
I'm allergic to nuts.
I'm very sorry.
That's all right.
But yeah, like those have pheromones in them.
Okay.
And I have one that smells like chocolate and one that's called Sinful Spring.
Of course, you have a chocolate one.
Of course I do. Yes, because the smell of chocolate gets me going.
Chocolate is your favorite thing.
It is. Yes. It is. Like the smell of chocolate, the taste of chocolate, the chocolate of chocolate, chocolate wine, chocolate martinis. I love chocolate.
I see. Talking martinis. Mm-hmm. You love chocolate in every form?
Yes. I really do. I fuck with chocolate heavy.
I just also think it's pretty interesting that your favorite thing is also known as like a natural aphrodisiac.
Yeah. Yes. Because it is. Yeah. Yeah. Chocolate also can help you if you're feeling depressed or frustrated too.
Yeah.
It helps release I believe serotonin when you eat it.
We love that glorious serotonin.
Facts.
We do.
So continuing.
Yes. We talked about all these cool things. We talked about scents and chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that like you want to try?
Particularly in the bedroom?
Yes.
That has to do with scents?
No, anything.
Okay. I was about to say, I know you a chef. We can make a nice meringue.
Yes, let's get some chocolate to make some meringue.
Yes.
And the meringue is made with egg and egg.
You ain't gotta eat it, you just gotta smell it.
No. It starts to smell really foul after a while.
We'll throw it out. But I mean, like, in regards to like food play and stuff,
it don't have to be specifically food play either. Just in general, like, is there anything like BDSM wise, sex wise, well, just BDSM wise that you'd want to try? Anything to enhance sex? Period.
So I do very much have like this other fantasy very much where I do want to also like blindfold my partner, but I want it to be kind of like a guessing game. That's why like I very much would like an extra partner to be involved, because I would want them to try to like take a guess at like who is doing what to them. You don't really have an idea of who's doing what because the goal of us would be to like stay silent, or you put on headphones and play music.
I feel like I'd probably know.
Oh, probably. But that's what makes it exciting. It's just the fact that you don't really get the answer until like things start happening. Then you're like, okay, well now I know. But it's just fun to just have the anticipation. Like, you don't know who's gonna touch you, where they're gonna touch you, when they're gonna touch you, how they're gonna touch you. You just are blindfolded and you just get to feeling stimulating sensations out the blue.
That's cool.
I think that you would look really nice getting pleasured by me and someone else. At the same time. And I think that it will be even more exciting if you are blindfolded, because then you just have to rely on your other senses to basically navigate how you're going to do it and how you're going to handle it. And I mean, the more you can and can't handle, the better it looks for me.
Hilarious.
So I am with the bullshit through and through for that.
Noted.
What about you? Something you want to do?
I've been put on the spot again.
Correct.
Something that I would like to try. I would like to try 2 things. One, I really want to dive into this exhibitionist kink a little bit.
For sure.
I do think that is something that I want to try.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I kind of want to like try like this is a wild one. Actually, role playing.
Role playing?
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
You have an idea of what things you want to do in role play? Like, what do you want us to be dressed as? How do we want to look?
It's so funny because, like, I know you're...
I want to be Mothman.
Stop.
Okay.
My Godzilla.
Ooh.
Do I wear a T-Rex costume? Is that how we do that?
Oh, yeah. You got to put, like, some blue Kool-Aid in your mouth to, like, shoot it out.
I'm so dead. No. Fromp around in fucking costume. No. I don't want to see this on the podcast. But it involves a particular way of talking.
Mm-hmm.
What if I said that I wanted to get fucked as an alien and you were a cowboy?
That's fine. As long as I can be Cole Cassidy.
No, stop. It's high noon somewhere in the world.
I want to say that peak I'm about to come. Right?
No.
Like you getting close, it's high noon.
I hate it. I don't think I have a particular role that I know I want to play. You know what?
Junkrat.
Stop. No. DPS. No. No. There was one. I feel like I wanted to talk to you about this a while ago, and I might have, and I'm trying to recall it. And I think it has something to do with the scenario being, I did something,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, all of it is an elaborate ploy to get you to fuck the shit out of me, but as a punishment. I can't tell you the schematics, how we'd get there, but some of it would probably... I just want to be a brat.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds
I just
like brat
want to
behavior.
be a brat. I apologize. I can't help it. It's in my nature.
It's okay. It's okay. If that is how you feel and that is what you want to do, then by all means, for sure.
Yes.
I am always with the bullshit and always down for some aggressive fucking.
See, like he says that, but like you don't get angry about stuff.
I do not.
Yeah, so
I do not. I will not, like, I can play the idea of being fed up, but yes, like an actual angry, like, no, I do not feel anger.
So it
also can't be intimate when I'm angry either.
I feel that. That's fair. I don't know. So, like, I don't know. I feel like for me as a brat, like, if I can't get you, like, a little irritated, it kind of, like, you're going to try it anyway, though.
I mean, at the end of the day, that makes me feel like I've won. If I pushed you to frustration because you can't frustrate me, it's like, I still win as the dom in that situation.
But that's not the point.
I know it's not the point.
That's not the point.
It's kind of it's like a mirror force, right? It's like it's taking whatever you did, and I'm just okay. Well, I'm just gonna throw this back in your direction. Found some. Bet you're not gonna do this. I won't. Now what?
Damn.
This is Kaguya-sama Love is War right now. It's exactly that.
Want an orange? No, I don't think I do.
Who's offering the orange? I hope it's you offering it to me.
No, you.
Why would I offer orange to you? I'm trying to kill you.
No. I was quoting the
episode.
scene in Kaguya. Yeah,
you're right.
Yes. What you read? Oranges, they don't kill me. My allergy's not that severe.
That's what my brain's gonna think about it.
Everybody thinks when I say I'm allergic, they're like, "You're gonna die," and I'm like, "No, baby, it's not that deep. It's just a little itchy."
Itchy thrusty.
Yes, itchy thrusty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think really just role playing and I would have said like temperature play. I don't know. Watching Sir Marvelous do the fire play, really, I would never, that's a lie. I would do it if impulsively, like I was like, go. Mm-hmm. But like, I would like to try it. Or like knife play. I really enjoy knife play.
We can definitely do some knife play. I've experienced with knife play. Just gotta dull the knife.
Okay.
I ain't sharpening no more.
No, I would not want you to do that. Please don't.
I ain't at that level. I know some people do it with a sharp blade, but that ain't me.
My ass ain't on that level either. That's a little too dangerous for me.
I agree. And we stay away from vital organs and veins.
Yes.
So no neck and no wrists.
I just like my ass and my thighs touched.
That is completely fine. Fine. So we can do that. Yeah. Okay, so we got ideas that are put on the table. Is there anything else you wanna talk about before we close this episode for today?
If you could be any dildo on Bad Dragon, what kind of dildo would you be?
I want to be that dildo that's shaped like a fucking octopus tentacle.
I thought you were gonna say the dog paw, and I was gonna lose my mind.
God, no.
No.
No, thank you.
I was like, he's gonna say dog paw.
I want to be the tentacle one. I also whichever ones also just come with like the fucking nut busting simulation.
That's so it's really cool. Because for those that really enjoy that, I like that they get to have like this full experience. But what is in that tube? What is it?
Whatever it is, it's not something that's apparently harmful to the vagina or butt.
I understand, but my brain's like, what is this white goop? What is in this?
I don't know. It's real thick too. It's like it's real thicker than like your traditional like sperm, semen, nut, baby gravy.
Baby gravy.
Baby gravy.
Oh, I don't like that one.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
The internet taught me.
But no, that's it. I was just kidding. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, what about you then? What dildo would you be?
Oh.
The dog paw?
No, I would say that for like shits and giggles.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's just so funny to me. But I don't judge. Live your best life. Some people can take a whole fist up the ass. It may not be me.
Some people can, yeah.
Bless y'all little hearts. It ain't me. I hope that shit is fun. I hope it's fun as fuck. And if you want it to look like a dog paw,
that's your business.
That is truly your business.
Yeah. We do not kink shame around here.
We do not. But it is I think the one that they have is this gray dog paw. It reminds me of I'm getting specific about dogs. It don't matter. I don't know. I don't want to be generic and say a dragon penis, but
that's what you want. That's what you want.
Probably a dragon penis. I can't think of what any of the dildos look like.
They ugly.
I think they're pretty cool.
Oh well, I'm not saying all of them are ugly, but I'm saying some of them are really fucking ugly.
You know what? I changed my mind. I'd pick the raptor foot.
For the feet fetish people?
No, it's a dildo.
That's shaped like a foot.
Yes.
Wow. Is that not for the feet fetish people because people like to get fucked with feet. That's a thing. People like getting toes in their pussy. Or a booty hole.
Stop, because I forgot what the hell I was watching. And she was talking about putting her toe in someone's vagina, and I was so dumbfounded because foot fetishes are very new to me. Mm-hmm. So in my brain, I was like, why would you do that? Why would anyone ever? I just thought this was a one-off instance, but it never occurred to me that the foot was because of a foot fetish and not just because of fisting.
Yes. If someone can fetishize it, someone's going to try to put it inside of them.
That's so interesting.
It is interesting.
Why do we want, I guess, sex, because that's how sex works.
Yeah. That some people like the fulfilling of, the feeling being filled.
That's valid.
Raptor foot. So they're like, a foot in here would be the shit. Cha-cha slide that pussy any way you want to. That's your business.
Oh, gosh.
That's your business.
Yeah, you right.
But okay, all right. Well, we're going to get up out of here. Thank you.
It's your girl, Rosie B, signing out.
It is. Rosie B has signed out. Doo-doo. Out of the chat, and I will also be signing off as well. But you all take care. Have a wonderful day. If you're hearing this in traffic, on your way home, in the train, in the car, driving the train led by a car-led trains, we're getting to a new world. Either way, you take care and you have a wonderful day. Enjoy this on SoundCloud. Enjoy it on Spotify. Enjoy it wherever you hear it. But
share, subscribe.
Yes, please. Let the world know.
Please.
Next episode coming Saturday. See y'all soon.